What's up, guys? So, can you make $100,000 a year with high-ticket dropshipping? Well, I'm here to break down the math for you a little bit and see if it's actually a possibility. And I'll tell you first, right off the bat, it is. It just takes work to get there, like anything. Most people are going to go out and look for a job. That's what I was certainly doing when I was in my mid 20s. I was actually looking for work. I wanted to make enough money to live and to get by and to be able to just kind of enjoy my life. But I knew that it was going to take 8 to 9 hours a day of working for an employer to do that. Now, after about 3 or 4 years of doing that, I started doing a ton of research and realized that I could actually run my own wholesale retail business online, utilizing other suppliers to do my warehousing and inventory and fulfillment for me. And I could just keep the profit margins myself. I could do all the customer service, I could do all the updates, I could do all this work myself, but I would have my own job, my own business. And after that, I started to scale. I started to realize that I could hire other people in other countries that, where the labor is cheaper, right? Maybe instead of having to pay them $12 to $15 an hour like I'd have to in the US, could pay them $3 to $4 an hour, maybe up to $5 at the most for really highly skilled labor. And so I started realizing there's a huge arbitrage opportunity, and I took advantage of it. And high-ticket dropshipping is exactly that. It's an arbitrage opportunity. Now, coming into high-ticket dropshipping, you have to set your expectations properly, but it is achievable. You just have to make sure that you understand that it's going to take a lot of work to get there, a lot of testing, a lot of, getting through like certain obstacles and, figuring things out, okay? Just getting into the nitty-gritty of stuff. And, things are always changing. Of course, these days with AI, things are getting really complicated and really, intricate and, advanced. And automations are possible, but, with that, you have to learn new skill sets. And, but it's really exciting. So let's just do the math really quick. I'll talk to you about how much exactly you need to make as far as, top line revenue in order to achieve a $100,000 a year income, net income, EBITDA, which is after, taxes and all the other costs and expenses. Okay, so let's go into that. With high-ticket dropshipping, the net profit margins, that's after your cost of goods sold, after shipping costs, after ad spend, after software expenses, after team expenses, is usually somewhere in the 5% to 10% range. Okay, so some niches, the products have higher margins kind of generally. Some suppliers, the product margins are higher. But some suppliers, the product margins are lower. It just really depends. So that's why with high-ticket dropshipping, you just got to get through a bunch of different suppliers and find the ones with the high margins. And you really got to focus on selling the products with the high margins. All right. It is one of those things where it's kind of a race to the bottom sometimes because you have a lot of competition online, right? These businesses don't have a huge barrier for entry as far as financial investment, right? You can start them with a low financial investment, which is why I do it and why I help other people do it as well, because it's a great location independent business model. You don't have to be anywhere specific to run it, just from a hotel room, from a cafe, from your home if you want to, from abroad, whatever. But you do have to put in the work and really sort through stuff and figure out how you can provide value to customers beyond what your competitors are offering in order to make the sale. All right. A lot of high ticket stuff is based in sales, and sales is based in communication, which is based on problem solving. So you have to get really good at problem solving. You have to get good at sales and the sales process. You have to get good at customer service in order to make this stuff last and make it work and then make it sustainable. But let's look at the numbers. So if we're looking at a 5 to 10% net profit margin after ads, marketing, software, team expenses, cost of goods sold, shipping costs, all that stuff, then you're looking at roughly at a 5% net margin, which is being very conservative, $166,000 in monthly revenue required to get to that $100,000 in year in net income. $166,000 in monthly revenue is not that hard to achieve, actually. 166K in monthly revenue, broken down by day. So if you're looking at, a daily revenue amount, you would need to achieve around $5,000 a day in sales. And that's pretty standard for a successful high-ticket dropshipping business, is a $5,000 a day average. An average order value with high-ticket dropshipping is somewhere between like $1,500 to $3,000. So it really only takes about 3 orders per day on average to get to that average order value of $5,000, or average daily revenue of $5,000, which will then get you to around that 150,000, 166,000 in monthly revenue, which results in a, enough yearly revenue to make a net profit of around $100,000. Now, a lot of people wonder also, how long does it take to get there? And that's a tough question to answer because, some people with a lot of experience and a big team and, all that stuff and a lot of like connections can get into a niche super fast, get connected with these suppliers and really just make a ton of money right away. But then it takes other people months and months and months and months of continued investment, continued work and trying to test things out and stuff like that. And it goes really slow until finally they break through and they start making that much money. So it really just depends on you as the owner of the business, right? As how much experience do you have in this niche? How much can you bring to the table as far as experience goes? How big is your network? How good are you at networking and finding people and meeting people that matter to your business, like suppliers and, B2B customers and, big high ticket, customers and things like that. How good are you at streamlining processes and hiring team members and managing team members to get things done for you? So things get done while you can focus on building the business and they focus on running it for you. How good are you at, training people on customer service and sales? You're going to have a sales team in order to run one of these businesses at this kind of level. It might not have to be a huge sales team, but it's going to have to be a sales team, probably more than one person, at least 2 or 3. You're going to have to manage a sales team. Okay. So how good are you at sales? Can you do high ticket sales calls? Can you close a sale of $2,000, $3,000 over the phone? So it really just depends on you as the business owner. And if you don't have these skills yet, you can certainly learn them. You just go on YouTube and search for, sales training and you'll find lots of sales training. You got to go practice. Set up one of these stores and just, take the phone calls yourself and practice for a while. That's exactly what I did for a while. I was taking phone calls in the car, phone calls at the grocery store, phone calls. I would get a call and I was in school. I'd run out of the schoolroom in college and I'd take the call. So look, you just have to dive into it and you have to get into it. But it is possible. 150,000 a month is always what we aim for. And that's just, baseline. And the coolest thing about a high ticket dropshipping business that I really enjoy is the fact that you can sell one of these stores for around 2 to 3x the yearly profit. On average, and if you get a direct to consumer brand going along with that store, like your own private label product or something like that, and make that really good, that's going to boost that up to 3 to 4x. So just keep that in mind. High ticket dropshipping is such a great opportunity because not only are you building income for yourself, but you're also going to be able to sell it as an asset later on. Let's say you're making 166K in monthly revenue, 5% margin, that would be, $8,000 a month or something like that. And net profit, times 12, you're looking at close to $100,000 a year, right? $100,000 a year times 2 or 3, that's $200,000 or $300,000. I've scaled up businesses past that. During the pandemic, I had a store that was doing well over $500,000 a month, and I sold it for $750,000. There were some problems with it, but I still got $750,000 for one business. It was pretty amazing. And so here I am, helping others to start their businesses now because I've had a lot of success. So I know what works and what doesn't, what to focus on, how to build stores out, how to brand them, how to connect with suppliers and how to list products and what products to list and what products not to list and how to do the ads and how to do SEO. All that stuff I have a ton of experience with. I've taught my team how to do it. They now do it for the clients. I have an portfolio store of my own ongoing. We build it and the plan is to scale it and to sell it, just like I've been doing for the last 10 or so years. You just build, scale, and sell. It's just a consistent process every couple of years. So it's possible. Realistically, it's going to take you 6 to 12 months to get to that level where you're starting to see consistent sales, that $100,000 a month in revenue. It might take you a bit longer even. It really depends on you, again, and how quickly you get work done. But if you want to get work done faster, consider hitting me up. Go get in touch with me, Trevor at eCommerceParadise.com, or go to my sales page for my turnkey done-for-you offer. My team can help you build out your store, scale it, and get it to this level where it's paying you, $8,000 or so a month after maybe a year or so. And it only costs you, a very low investment compared to the overall revenue you're going to make in the long run. So definitely look at that. It's ecommerceparadise.com/turnkey. And if you already have a store or like you started it, you couldn't quite get it going, you need help scaling it, we have an offer for you where it's just scaling services, supplier recruiting, product uploading, ads, SEO, all that stuff, email marketing, so on and so forth. ecommerceparadise.com/scaling. And we also have a management offer where I hire, train, and manage a operations manager for your business. They do sales, customer service, follow-ups, support, all that stuff, order processing. It's ecommerceparadise.com/management for that one. So guys, just kind of as a takeaway, high ticket dropshipping is an awesome business model. It still works even with all the Trump tariffs and stuff like that. There's still lots of opportunity. There's tons of niche ideas that I have for you. If you want to see my entire list of 1,000+ niche ideas, you can go to ecommerceparadise.com/niches. It's product ideas that are high ticket. And then there's a training in there on how to research those niches to find if they are actually going to work for you for high ticket dropshipping. So go there, ecommerceparadise.com/niches, and get my free guide when you're in there. And I'll be so happy to help you. If you just book a free discovery call with me, I'll go over your goals and your budget and see if we can offer you some sort of help to get you going. So to go check that out, ecommerceparadise.com. Thanks so much, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.